Ladies and gentlemen, today we are celebrating a YouTuber's landmark. We have hit 25 subscribers.
Yes!
Woo! Thank you to everyone who has subscribed. We are looking forward to a bright future of making better videos. All right, let's move on to Toyota. So, Toyota is trying to figure out how to make a car run forever.
Didn't they already do that?
No, they break down occasionally, but they are possibly one of the most reliable car companies out there.
I'm pretty sure there are Toyota mini trucks that still will
Yes,
go
there
until
are,
the
and
end
you are
of
right.
time.
But they're doing it differently this time. This time, they're plugging them into the sun. Wait, no. Sorry, I misread that. They're using solar panels so that it runs forever.
Plugging them into the sun.
I don't know how I feel about Well, wait a second. Are they hybrids of any sort?
No, they're 100% electric cars with
Electric
solar
cars.
panels. But they are so underpowered that Toyota says that the technology does not exist at the moment to do it properly, so it will take some time.
You know, solar-powered cars have been in the works for a very long time, and they've always been underpowered, so I don't think it's the right way to go.
It's another thing is electric cars. They use electric motors, don't they, to move? I know electric motors will burn out It does take a lot of hours to burn them out, but they do burn out eventually.
But if anyone can do it,
It'll be Toyota.
All right, let's move on from that one.
All right. In other news, cars with actual engines. Nice shot. Ford has decided to recall 340,000 cars due to sharp seat edges. 2017 Explorer, they're being recalled due to sharp seat edges. There were improperly coined seat frames from the factory. And unfortunately, some people have decided to reach in between the seats and grab that last jelly bean that has fallen between them and cut their hand.
That sucks.
It does. But
If I reached down for my jelly bean and I cut my hand, I would be so depressed for the rest of the day. I don't know what I would do with myself.
It's unfortunate, but Ford has decided to fix their problem. If you take it into the dealership, they'll put some tape on it, say they're sorry. I bet if you ask really nicely, they might even give you a new seat. In other news, GM has decided to recall, sticking with the recall theme here, decided to recall 3.8 million vehicles due to a braking issue.
That's like the one thing you don't want to go wrong.
Two of the major components of an actual car, yes. So apparently it is a vacuum pump issue that can make braking a little weaker than it was actually intended. It has been linked to 113 accidents and 13 injuries. Which is very sad. I don't know what GM are doing about that. Apparently recalling all these vehicles, giving their money back so they can go buy something else like a Toyota or a Ford.
Actually, I did read this. They're not even replacing the pumps. They're just restoring them. They said, what? GM is not replacing them. If you take it in, they're not replacing it, they're just fixing it. There's some clogging issues and they're just cleaning it up.
Interesting.
All right, in other news, it's time for This Week in Europe. Welcome to This Week in Europe. They say that you cannot bring things back from the dead, but apparently auto manufacturers have not gotten the memo this year because Land Rover is bringing back the Defender.
Interesting.
After Toyota has brought back the Supra and Ford has brought back the Bronco, Land Rover is bringing back a car they brought to us in the 80s, off-road, I would say, competitor to the Jeep Wrangler and probably the new Bronco. There is a 2-door version and a 4-door version with 2 different engines. You can get a turbocharged 4-cylinder or turbocharged 6-cylinder, both inline. Inline 6 is my favorite engine, so that's probably what I would get. The latter has 395 horsepower with a 0 to 60 time of 5 seconds.
That's not incredible.
That's not shabby, considering, what was the Supra, 4.7?
You have a fair point there, actually.
Can you guess how many wheel options you can choose from?
Now, define wheel options. Like rim options or sizes?
Rim options, size options, width.
Wow. That already overwhelms me.
Oh, if it's British, it'll be.
I'm going to say 5 total options.
I'm gonna go with a conservative 32.
Well, it's somewhere in the middle between you two. It is a whole 12 different options of wheels.
That is entirely too many.
It is
That's-
entirely too many.
Have you ever been in a store and there's like, you want to get this, but this is very similar, but you can't decide?
Well, no,
I feel like
it's-
that would be very overwhelming.
Well, no, it's
You're
like-
just there looking at the car. I could get these wheels, or I could get these wheels.
Well, no, it's like going into the store buying bug spray, but you can't decide if you want just the traditional off, or if you want the like Walmart brand that says it does all the same things, is like really like a little bit cheaper, but you don't like the smell of it as much.
I think you're the only person in the entire world who's ever had that experience.
To be fair, I haven't had this experience directly.
On top of all of that, there are so many trim packages I didn't even bother reading them all. There's like...
Do you have a number at least?
No, I stopped reading them all.
Well, did
There
you
was
like? Was
like-
there a number
okay,
that you
okay,
reached to?
So there was like, I reached like 6. There was...
Well, 6 is not, out of the ordinary.
Right, but how many cars do you know have a trim package called the Outback package, or was it a country package, that has a high-pressure water pump strapped to the side of your car?
Okay, that's just cool. Now, come on. Not a, I can't think of a use for that unless you're a wannabe firefighter.
I gotta know, what is the use for that? I want to know. I'm very intrigued.
Well, no, it's for when your neighbor has a cigarette fire in their front lawn and they can't be bothered to put it out. You can roll up in your Land Rover Defender, probably painted red or something like that, and then you come out in all your fire gear and you just bring out your little hose and you. No.
We are not suggesting as a show that you go out and fight fires with this car.
But you could, because it has a water hose on it.
But you shouldn't.
Well, in other news, we have spotted Peter in Poland. At the banana-based protests, here's a picture.
Wait, who's Peter?
Don't you remember?
Oh, Peter! Yes.
Yeah, the guy who used to sit right
Oh,
here.
yes.
Speaking of which, because we have a surprising lack of Peter, we are opening applications for new Peters. Following parameters, you must be within 5'6" and 5'11", have blonde hair like Corvettes, and know absolutely nothing about cars.
If you are interested in this position, please send your application to Fortuna Redux cartalk@gmail.com.
That's our show. We will see you next week.